My girlfriend Liu Ruyan and I unexpectedly got two systems. One is the 100x amplification system. The other is the 100x shrinkage system. Liu Ruyan chose the 100x shrinkage system with a smile, so I had to take the remaining one. But 3 days later, the rain apocalypse arrived. Everyone was trapped at home, unable to go outside at all. Resources became the biggest problem. With my amplification system, I amplified all our limited supplies. We scrimped and saved and finally got through the crisis together. But right after the rain stopped, Liu Ruyan actually pushed me off a tall building. If you hadn't stolen my amplification system, I could have used this system to enlarge food to save Brother Wang's whole family. Kai Mao, you're great in every way. You're just way too selfish. Unexpectedly, when I opened my eyes again, I actually went back to the day we chose the systems. This time, Liu Ruyan grabbed the amplification system first. I knew right away she was reborn too. Please choose your respective systems. My brain was still a little fuzzy at the moment. Wasn't I just pushed off the building by Liu Ruyan? It took me a while to come back to my senses from the intense feeling of weightlessness. Liu Ruyan was also stunned for a second. Then she made her choice immediately. I want the amplification system. Okay, the system has been bound successfully. Liu Ruyan glanced at me proudly. She couldn't hide the joy in her eyes. I finally realized that I had traveled back to the day my girlfriend and I chose our systems. I sneered in my mind. Since you love your brother Wang so much, and hate me, the boyfriend who saved your life so badly, I won't care about you this time. Then I'll take the shrinkage system. Okay, the system has been bound successfully. My girlfriend was eager to try out her new system. She casually amplified a nearby cup by 100 times. Haha, it's real. The amplification system is really mine now. I just watched her coldly right now. This is the girlfriend I risked my life to protect in my past life. In the last life, the rain apocalypse came out of nowhere. Everyone was trapped in their homes. Supplies were extremely scarce. I had several boxes of instant noodles and bread at home. I used the amplification system to make them bigger, so we could barely survive the 5 years of heavy rain. Liu Ruyan's childhood sweetheart Wang Laowu lived right across from us. My girlfriend begged me to help his family amplify their food, but I refused, saying you can never trust people in the apocalypse. Without my help, the Wang family obviously couldn't last 5 years. They starved to death very early on. I survived the apocalypse, but died at the hands of the girlfriend I tried so hard to protect. How ridiculous is that? Kai Mao, the amplification system is mine now. Are you jealous of me? After all, I can amplify anything I want, right? Your shrinkage system seems pretty useless. Liu Ruyan was testing if I was reborn too, it seemed. There was still a hint of wariness in her eyes. I let out a long breath. I smiled and acted like nothing was wrong. What's the big difference? It's just a system. If you like it, just take it. I'm fine with either one. Seeing that I had no interest in the amplification system at all, Liu Ruyan smiled in relief. I knew for sure that this time my girlfriend would go save her childhood sweetheart's family. And once anyone finds out about this system, Liu Ruyan will definitely not be safe in the apocalypse. Everyone who knows about it will definitely covet this system. After saying that, Liu Ruyan ran out excitedly and knocked on Wang Laowu's door. Wang Laowu was confused. Ruyan, why are you here? Liu Ruyan immediately held his arm intimately, ignoring the look of disgust on Wang Laowu's face. She said with a big smile, Brother Wang, let's go inside and talk. As soon as the door across the hall closed, I immediately turned on my phone to check the date, the 14th. There are still 3 days before the heavy rain comes. There's still enough time, so I immediately drove to the nearby supermarket and bought up all the food, drinks, and daily necessities. There were non-perishable foods like instant noodles and bread, as well as toilet paper, combs, mirrors, quilts, pillows, and other daily items. I also bought rice and flour, and seeds for all kinds of vegetables, to make sure I can eat meat whenever I want. I even bought a bunch of baby chicks. Besides that, I went to the furniture mall and picked out a full set of furniture for myself. I'm going to build a brand new little home for myself. My apartment is on a high floor. Even in the last life, the heavy rain never threatened it. I don't plan to leave my apartment at all. I just want to live my life a different way. I shopped like crazy until all the money in my bank account was gone. On the other hand, even though Liu Ruyan knew the rain was coming, she didn't panic or prepare anything at all. She knew that her amplification system could enlarge any food as needed, so she wasn't worried at all. I'm even kinda looking forward to it. Of course, I know what Liu Ruyan is expecting. When food is in short supply, she can step up to save her childhood sweetheart Wang Laowu's family. Then Wang Laowu will fall for her. So she can dump me. Liu Ruyan got home that night. Her eyes were sparkling with heart bubbles. Like she was already head over heels in love with Wang Laowu. Kaimao, if I save Wang Laowu's family, won't Brother Wang be so moved that he sees me as his lifesaver? She had a big, happy smile on her face, looking a little shy and coy at the same time. I said coldly, No way, Brother Wang will definitely cry from being so moved. Kaimao, are you jealous of Brother Wang? I ignored her question, just looking down at my phone to order stuff I need online. Liu Ruyan already screwed me over once. I will never let that happen a second time. Kaimao, do you have any spare money? Lend me a few 10,000 yuan, will ya? I want to buy some food, I replied with a cold face. No, I just bought a new fridge and spent all my money on it. Liu Ruyan immediately let out a sharp shriek. What did you buy a fridge for? Can't I just replace my old fridge? Why are you reacting so strongly? Realizing she had lost her composure, Liu Ruyan quickly calmed down and said with a smile, Oh, no. I was just curious, that's all. Oh, right, Kaimao. Don't you have some food in your room? I already took it and gave it to the elderly people who live alone in our community. They have a really hard life, after all. You're not mad, right? She grinned brightly, as if she was waiting for me to praise her for being kind. I never thought after being reborn, Liu Ruyan already got the amplification system she wanted, and still gave away my last batch of supplies to others. She's obviously trying to drive me to death. Looking at Liu Ruyan's sweet, smiling face, my disgust for her grew even stronger. I always thought I treated Liu Ruyan really well. Her parents both died of illness when she was young. As her husband, I not only paid for most of their medical bills, I even worked 5 jobs a day, just to give Liu Ruyan a better life. Finally, I saved enough money to buy an apartment in the city. But I never expected that our neighbor across the hall was Wang Laowu, Liu Ruyan's childhood sweetheart. They used to play together almost every day when they were little. Later, Wang Laowu's family home was demolished. They got a huge compensation payout and moved out of the village. I never thought after so many years. The second Liu Ruyan saw her old childhood sweetheart Wang Laowu, she immediately fell in love with him again. She completely threw away all the true love I gave her, and all the hard work I put in for us, even when the apocalyptic rainstorm hit. I refused to help his family. Liu Ruyan actually took advantage of my absence and secretly gave 1/3 of our supplies to Wang Laowu's family. There was nothing I could do about it. I could only lock the door tightly to stop other people from coming to steal our supplies. Turns out in Liu Ruyan's eyes, I'm not even as good as a man who has never done anything for her. I was completely disappointed in her, but it didn't matter. Liu Ruyan walked over with a smile and linked her arm through mine. Aw, honey, you're the best. I knew you wouldn't get mad at me over such a tiny little thing. I pulled my arm away from her. I'm gonna go read for a bit. You should get some rest early. I turned around and hid in my study and started planning to find a safe place for myself to stay. After all, if I keep hiding in this apartment, no matter how small I shrink, they still might find me eventually. I bought a set of wind power equipment, so even during heavy rainstorms, I can still have a steady supply of electricity. I've already got all the things I need ready. Now I just need to wait quietly for the remaining time. Liu Ruyan thinks that just because she has the amplification system, she can live worry-free. She only bought a few hundred yuan worth of food and locked it in the small bedroom, acting like I would steal it from her. So I decided to move into my own secret base, which I specially built when we were renovating the apartment. It's a small hidden room inside the bedroom. I never told Liu Ruyan about this place at all. This room is not big, only about the width of a small bathroom, but for me, after I shrink, it's a perfect safe house. The door of the room can only be controlled through my mobile phone, so I'm not worried at all that Liu Ruyan will find it. Even if she does find it, she can't open it anyway. Besides that, I also drove over 10 kilometers out to the wilderness and used the shrink system to shrink a bunch of soil so that later I can use the soil and seeds to grow vegetables and be completely self-sufficient. I also shrank several trees and brought them back with me. In the blink of an eye, all the food and furniture I ordered arrived. At this point, before the rainstorm hits, there is only 1 day left. I set the delivery address to the old rural house I used to live in. That whole village has been deserted for ages. Barely anyone lives there anymore. The house was packed with furniture, appliances, and food, plus all kinds of random small items. I waited until there was no one around, and used the shrink system to shrink everything down, and put them into the boxes I prepared in advance. At last, I hesitated for a second, but ended up taking this small bungalow of mine with me after shrinking it too. It's a bit old and run down, but it's still livable after some renovation. Under the cover of the dark night, I drove back home overnight and moved all the stuff into the secret room. Liu Ruyan has been super excited these days, thinking she's totally prepared for everything, so she didn't even care where I was. I'd already had the secret room, fitted with an air filtration system. Even if I live in there for years, I don't have to worry about running out of oxygen. There were also 5 bottles of mineral water. I didn't shrink those. Instead, I opened all of them and poured the water into a small vat to use as my water source later. I also installed lights in the room that I can turn on and off with my phone. I finished adjusting the light simulation settings so the crops can grow well. After a whole night of careful arrangement, the secret room turned into a tiny little farm. The super tiny chicks made almost no noise. They were digging through the haystack looking for bugs. My little house was right outside the farm. It had all kinds of home appliances inside. Now I could finally relax and wait quietly for the rainstorm to come. The final half day, Liu Ruyan went to Wang Laowu's house again. Wang Laowu's family didn't seem to like her at all. But Liu Ruyan didn't care about their opinions at all. She just kept trying to get into Wang Laowu's room. More than once I heard Wang Laowu's mom complain to the aunties hanging out downstairs. That girl next door has no sense of decency. She's married but still runs to my son's room every day. She's totally shameless. One auntie immediately joked back to her, "I think she probably has a crush on your son. You're gonna have a daughter-in-law soon." Pfft, you have no idea. She never even went to college. She's in her 20s already and doesn't even have a proper job. She lays around at home all day relying on her husband. That poor wretch wants to leave her husband and marry my son? No way. My son is tall, handsome, and has a stable job. She's way out of his league. I didn't say a word. I just pretended I didn't hear any of it. There was 1 hour left before the rainstorm hit. I gave Liu Ruyan a call. "Hello? Babe, what's up?" "Something came up at work. I'm working overtime tonight, won't be coming home." Liu Ruyan hesitated for a moment, but didn't warn me about anything, just said, "Okay, I'll eat by myself tonight. Bye." I knew she would never remind me to stay safe. I only called to throw her off anyway, so she would think I already left the house. Then I used my phone to open the secret room in the bedroom. I squeezed myself inside and closed the door behind me. I used the shrink system again, but this time I shrank myself instead of objects. After a dizzy spell where the world spun around me, I was fully shrunk down. The originally cramped secret room looked extremely spacious now. The reason I dared to risk shrinking myself is that I noticed in my past life, items enlarged with the enlargement system, after the rainstorm stopped, would magically return to their original size. So I guess the shrink system works the same way. After the rainstorm ends, the system will stop working, and everything will go back to its original size to avoid getting crushed by the suddenly enlarged base. I'll just run away ahead of time then. Looking at the land, green trees, chicks, and the house, I felt really content inside. Now I don't have to worry about the rainstorm anymore. Earlier, when Liu Ruyan wasn't home, I installed hidden cameras inside my house and in the hallway outside the door. That way I can watch the footage on my phone to monitor every move inside and outside the house. Just to be on the safe side, I even installed one outside Wang Laowu's door too. This security camera is really high quality. Not only is the picture clear, it can even pick up every tiny sound clearly. At the same time, I carried a hoe to the field and started tilling the soil carefully. Once I finished tilling, I scattered the seeds over the soil, then added some fertilizer and watered them. A group of chicks gathered around my feet pecking at them. I waved my hands to chase them away, then opened a bag of chicken feed to feed them. I learned from my phone that right now, the heavy rain has already started falling. It's just that no one realizes this rain won't stop. Lots of people are complaining on social media that the rain's too heavy. Can't even get to work. I'm totally cut off from the world right now. The only things I have to stay connected to the outside are my phone and tablet. Several days pass in a row. The heavy rain still hasn't let up. And it's already created huge problems for the city's transportation system. As for my disappearance, Liu Ruyan isn't surprised at all. She probably thinks I've already drowned in the flood. Little does she know I've spent these days on my small farm plowing land, planting veggies and feeding chickens. The only thing I have to worry about is the baby chickens keep sneaking bites of my young green vegetable shoots. With nothing else to do, I pull up the security camera feed and find that Liu Ruyan actually brought Wang Laowu home with her. Brother Wang, do you have any food left at your place? Wang Laowu looks a little frustrated. Not much left. I should have stocked up more if I knew this would happen. The first floor of the building's almost flooded now. I can't get out at all. Wang Laowu then turns to look at Liu Ruyan. Ruyan, do you have any food at your place? Can you share some with me? I've got my parents and little sister at home. That little bit of food isn't nearly enough for my whole family. Seeing this, Liu Ruyan leans close to his ear and whispers, No way. There's actually something that can do that. Of course there is. Look, if you don't believe me, then Liu Ruyan uses the magnification system to enlarge an apple on the table. The apple grows bigger right away. Sitting heavy on the table, Wang Laowu's expression goes from total disbelief at first to absolute joy now. He quickly wraps his arm around Liu Ruyan's shoulder. Ruyan, I'm so lucky to have you. Could you please enlarge all the food that my family has at home? Sure thing, Brother Wang. But I have a tiny little request first. Spit it out. The fact that I have a crush on you? You already know that, right? Brother Wang, since I can save your whole family.
Can you like me back too?
Liu Ruyan covers her eyes shyly, totally missing the complicated look on Wang Laowu's face, mixed with a hint of disgust. But he quickly switches to a super loving and affectionate expression, grabs Liu Ruyan's hand. What silly talk is that? We've already been together for ages, haven't we? You know that we were childhood sweethearts when we were little. Of course I like you too now. Once the heavy rain stops, I'll marry you. Yay, I knew you liked me too, Brother Wang. Where'd your boyfriend go? Oh, him? He said he went to work overtime. It's been raining so hard for so long now. He's probably already drowned. A sly look flashes across Wang Laowu's face. Then he coaxes Liu Ruyan into taking all the supplies from his room out for him. I watch the security feed, feeling all sorts of mixed emotions. How did I end up marrying such a stupid woman? Stupid is one thing, but she's also so evil. It's like she can't wait for me to be gone for good. But what does that have to do with me anyway? I'm hiding out here anyway. No one's ever gonna find me. I just need to live my nice little peaceful life and that's it. I go back inside the house and cook a hot pot meal, then open the fridge and take out a bottle of drink, and start enjoying my dinner happily. After I eat my fill, I make sure to take photos of the delicious food and post it on my moments. Caption, it's pouring rain and windy outside. Eating hot pot at home is so nice. I didn't expect Liu Ruyan to right away. Leave a comment on my moments post. Hubby, where are you? Commenting on the moments post isn't enough. She also sends me several messages. Hubby, it's raining so hard outside. Are you okay? Where are you? And you're eating hot pot too. I want some too. Tell me where you are right now. It's pouring rain. I can't get out. Can you bring me some food back? I don't reply to any of her questions. I just take a photo of the drink I just finished drinking and send it to her. The drink is delicious, and the hot pot is still steaming hot. It's so good. Right after that, Liu Ruyan calls me immediately. Hubby, how come you can still eat hot pot? Can you bring some back for me to eat? I've been eating bread for days already. Honey, I'm hungry. I want to have real food, babe. Though that's what Liu Ruyan said, but I could tell there was another meaning behind her urgent tone of voice. Why do you get to eat so well in this apocalyptic rainstorm? I just smiled faintly. I looked up. It was dead silent all around me, totally unaffected by the heavy rain outside. I'm still at the office. The company is treating us to hot pot. The rain's way too heavy right now. I can't make it home. Find something to eat at home by yourself. Okay. Seeing this, Liu Ruyan immediately started cooing at me like she used to. No, please don't, honey. The bread at home tastes so bad. I want to eat hot pot too. She was about to say something else, but I hung up on her. I turned on the security camera feed. Sure enough, Liu Ruyan was furious at her phone. She didn't look all sweet and obedient anymore. Pretending to be a good girl for all these years must have been so hard for her. Then I turned on my tablet and started relaxing. I've saved a ton of stuff on my tablet. Hundreds of novels, anime, and TV shows. More than enough to keep me busy when I'm bored. After I ate and drank my fill, I laid down on the bed to rest. I casually picked up my phone and logged into the security camera app. I switched to the camera outside Wang Laowu's door. Right away, I heard Wang Laowu's mom speaking. Ruyan is so amazing. Now our family won't have to worry about food or drinks. We really hit the jackpot with her. Looks like his whole family already knew that Liu Ruyan has an amplification system. Meanwhile, Liu Ruyan sounded super smug when she spoke. You're too kind, Auntie. Being able to use this system to help you and your whole family is what I want, too. After all, we're going to be family soon anyway, right? The air went quiet for a second. Wang Laowu's parents kept flattering her to keep her happy. Of course, if it wasn't for Ruyan, how would we have gotten so much food? Wang Laowu is so lucky to be dating you. I always said you're such a lovely girl. Liu Ruyan was so flattered by all their praise that she got totally carried away. I let out a cold laugh and turned off the camera feed. What kind of people is Wang Laowu's family? I know that all too well. When they got their demolition compensation years ago, they immediately got all high and mighty in the village. Looking down on everyone else, all their old relatives and friends were chased away by their insults. They always thought anyone who got close to them only wanted their demolition money. Lots of villagers said they were way too arrogant. Even the village chief wasn't allowed to stop by for a drink of water. How could people like this ever treat Liu Ruyan sincerely? And that Wang Laowu himself, ever since he moved here, he's always had this stuck-up attitude. He's badmouthed Liu Ruyan many times, publicly and privately. He never even respected her deep down. But I'm not going to meddle in their business anyway. After all, I've shrunk to 1/100 of my original size now. Not long after, Liu Ruyan called me again. She sounded really smug. Hey, Kai Mao, listen up. I'm dating Wang Laowu now. When I asked you to bring me food earlier, that was my final test for you. Oh, okay, I said as I was feeding the chickens. My tone was totally flat, no emotion at all. The chicks have already grown quite a bit. They're always chirping nonstop. Why do I hear chickens on your end? 'Cause I'm feeding chickens. Liu Ruyan was instantly confused. It's pouring rain like crazy out there. Where did you even get chickens? I didn't answer her question directly. I just said I raised them. Where on earth are you? How come you can eat hot pot and raise chickens there? Was your place not affected by the heavy rain at all? Of course not. Liu Ruyan would never guess that I didn't go anywhere. I'm just staying in my own bedroom. We're only separated by a single wall, but it's like two completely different worlds. That's amazing. Your place isn't affected by the rain at all. Then tell me where you are right now. We'll come over too. Why should I tell you? If you want to come, find it yourself. If you find me, you can come over. What do you mean by that? You don't want us to come, do you? I always gave Liu Ruyan whatever she wanted before. This was the first time I spoke to her in a sarcastic tone. I kicked away a chick that was in my way and walked back to the house from the farmland. I have a lot of pre-made meals stored in my fridge, including frozen pizza, steamed buns, dumplings, and more. I turned on the electric fan again and took the baked pizza out of the microwave. After being reheated, the pizza had a nice golden color. It looked super fragrant and soft. I casually snapped a pic of it for Liu Ruyan. What? How come you still have pizza there? Kai Mao, tell me where you are right now. You are so selfish. I'm here gnawing on dry bread and chowing down on instant noodles, and you are over there eating pizza. Liu Ruyan sounded anxious and a little coquettish. She was desperate to get my address out of me. I took a big bite of the pizza, chewed twice, and just yelled, "Whoa! This pizza is so freaking good!" The cheese on top even stretches when you pull it. Kai Mao, you need to know, no matter how nice your place is, your food supply is still limited. What good is that shrinking system of yours anyway? My enlarging system can make your food bigger. It'll be enough to last you for years, no problem. Hurry up and tell me where you are. I'll come find you. You still want to come find me now. You just can't stand seeing me doing better than you. My answer is still the same. If you can find me, come over then. Then I hung up the phone right away. Then I watched Liu Ruyan throw a useless tantrum on the security cam, smashing everything in my apartment to pieces. And before long, the fact that Liu Ruyan has an enlarging system spread all across the entire apartment complex. As for who leaked the news, that goes without saying. Liu Ruyan's door got banged on again and again. Everyone brought their last remaining food to her, hoping she could enlarge their food for them. Liu Ruyan was pretty flustered at first. She even tried to pretend she didn't have a system to brush it off. But then Wang Lao's parents from the opposite door rushed out and stopped all the people asking for help. Hey, hey, hey! Ruyan is our future daughter-in-law. If you want to use the system, you have to get our family's permission first. Using the system takes a lot of energy from Ruyan each time. You have to pay for it. At first, Liu Ruyan was a little mad at Wang Lao's parents for telling other people she had the system. But the second she heard what they said, she was immediately happy. Yeah. Ruyan is my girlfriend. You gotta pay if you want her to do work for you. Wang Lao openly wrapped his arm around Liu Ruyan's waist. Liu Ruyan leaned against his chest all shy and bashful. Just like that, the whole Wang family relied on Liu Ruyan to start their own business. Everyone who asked her to use the enlarging system had to pay Wang Lao 2,000 yuan. 2,000 yuan is not cheap. But this is the rain apocalypse right now. Everyone is running low on supplies. You can't buy food no matter how much money you have. This looks like a win-win deal. But I saw from the security cams that more and more people were coming to Liu Ruyan to use the system, and they were coming more and more often. That means they believe, as long as Liu Ruyan has the enlarging system, they will never starve to death. But they forgot one thing. The system can enlarge food, but only if you have food in the first place. The system can only be used once on the same item. You can't eat half, save the other half. Then use the system to enlarge it again. To get unlimited food, that's impossible. 3 whole years passed. Thanks to Liu Ruyan's enlarging system, no one in the complex starved to death. So everyone started letting their guard down, eating, drinking, and having fun with no restraint. Then at the end of the 3rd year, the crisis finally hit. Everyone's food supplies at home were almost gone. Even after being enlarged by the system, there still wasn't enough to eat. Resources were extremely scarce. The enlarging system no longer had any advantage. So the whole complex started getting more and more chaotic. Fights and arguments over supplies were breaking out everywhere. Liu Ruyan had already moved into Wang Lao's place long ago. They were basically family now. I heard through the security cam mics that Wang Lao's family also knew. Fewer and fewer people came to ask Liu Ruyan to use the enlarging system now. It was hard to make any more money from this business. But Liu Ruyan was still eating and living at their place for free, which already made them really unhappy. They talked about finding an excuse to kick Liu Ruyan out. So Wang Lao told Liu Ruyan rudely and straightforwardly, I don't love you anymore. Let's break up. Liu Ruyan screamed and cried her heart out, begged and clung to him desperately, but she still got thrown out by the whole family. In this rain apocalypse, everyone only cares about their own benefit. Just like that. Liu Ruyan could only cry and scream helplessly at their door. After a whole day and night, she still went back to my apartment dejectedly. But the apartment at this moment had already been cleaned out by Wang Lao's whole family. The food Liu Ruyan stockpiled earlier was all moved to their house. Right now, this house is nothing but an empty shell. Though Liu Ruyan went and made a scene outside their house, all she got in the end was their insults. How would they ever return the food? Liu Ruyan finally started to panic. So what was I doing at this moment? I was right on my little farm, living my cozy little life at a leisurely pace. When I'm hungry, I pick some greens to stir fry with meat. If I don't feel like cooking, I'll go to the fridge and take out pre-made meals to cook quickly. When I'm bored, I can even mix myself a drink. The first thing I do every morning is feed the chickens, then make myself breakfast, then head to the farm to check on the crops I've planted. Loads of greens, potatoes, eggplants, tomatoes, corn, and more. If I get sleepy at noon, I take a nap. After I wake up, I binge shows and watch anime, snack and drink whatever I want. The only slight hassle is there are no insects here, so I have to manually pollinate each and every fruit and vegetable plant myself. But that's no big deal. They'd heard nothing from me for 3 years. Liu Ruyan called me again tentatively. She probably thought I was already dead, and never expected I'd actually pick up. Kaimao, thank God you're alive. I thought the heavy rain had killed you already. I was munching on a cucumber, watching a drama on my tablet. What are you calling me for? Liu Ruyan's voice had a slight sob to it. Kaimao, you have no idea how Wang Lao and his whole family treated me. They used my amplification system to make money. Now no one comes to me to use the system anymore, so they just kicked me out of the house. Oh, okay. Well, you deserve it. Wang Lao literally said he'd marry me, but now he's breaking up with me. Their whole family are greedy, selfish jerks. They ruined my life completely. There's nothing to eat at home now. Oh, you still deserve it. I took another bite of the cucumber. The crunch was really loud. Liu Ruyan immediately started playing the victim to me. Kai Mao, can you come pick me up right now, please? I have no food. I'm literally gonna starve to death. You don't want your ex to starve to death, do you? My voice stayed calm. No way. Liu Ruyan immediately flew into a rage. Kai Mao, why don't you care about me at all? You were never like this before. Did you get reborn too? I let out a small laugh, then, yeah, I did. What about it? You knew you were reborn too. Why didn't you tell me? You definitely knew what kind of people Wang Laowu and his family are, right? Why didn't you say anything? How can you be so selfish? I didn't say much in response. I just sent her a video I took. In the video, my fruits and veggies were growing really well. A bunch of chickens were running around everywhere. The inside of the house was decorated really cozy. The fridge was full of food and snacks, with zero signs of damage from the heavy rain. It looked like it was in a whole other world. As soon as I sent the video, Liu Ruyan completely blew up. How can you be so selfish? Do you have any idea how much I'm suffering right now? Hurry up and come pick me up. Selfish? When you pushed me down the stairs in our past life, weren't you being selfish? You got reborn too this time. You knew the heavy rain was coming, and you never told me a thing. Aren't you the selfish one here? Liu Ruyan acted like everything I did for her was something she was entitled to, and never thought she owed me anything in return. I'm not some doormat who lets people walk all over me. If you didn't see me as family, there's no reason for me to save you again. Kai Mao, I was totally out of my mind. To be charmed by that Wang Laowu, you can't abandon me. If I starve to death, you'll have no family left. Oh, if that's the case, then go ahead and starve. It's none of my business. I hung up right after I said that. I could even imagine how furious Liu Ruyan was on the other end of the line. Through the security camera, I watched her raging and smashing things around the house all day, especially my bedroom. Everything inside was completely destroyed, but smashing things won't fill your stomach. No matter how much she vents, it won't help. One day I saw Liu Ruyan bring some bread. Back from outside, through the security camera outside the door, I found out she stole it from Wang Laowu's house. His whole family had gone out, leaving only Wang Laowu's 6-year-old little sister at home. Liu Ruyan tricked her into opening the door and stole all the food in their house. Watching this scene on the security footage, I couldn't help bursting out laughing. What a perfect dog-eat-dog show. That's so damn epic. I almost died laughing. Sure enough, after Wang Laowu and his family came back from outside, they found all the food was gone. They flew into a rage right away, kicking and pounding at my front door non-stop and yelling all kinds of curses. Liu Ruyan still huddled inside like a turtle hiding in its shell and refused to step outside at all. My front door is super sturdy. I specifically picked it when I was renovating. It's the most damage-resistant door model on the market. So even if Wang Laowu and his family stayed outside my house, banging and yelling at the door for 3 whole days and nights, they couldn't threaten Liu Ruyan inside the house at all. No one expected that right then. Wang Laowu actually had the nerve to say to her, "Ruyan, stop throwing a silly little tantrum. Give the food back to us, and we can get back together, okay?" Everything I said before was just angry words. I actually still love you a lot. We even made a promise to get married. Don't you remember that? Wang Laowu was on the other side of the door, spouting all sorts of sweet nothings to Liu Ruyan.